Hey everyone, my name is Sam Robinson and I'm the CRO at bookkeepers.com. And today you're going to be joining us for our inaugural series on our wonderful friends in the world of bookkeeping. Today we'll be joined by Kramer Holt of Ramp Card, and today we're going to be going over their bill pay feature. Now, normally Ramp is known for their service as a charge card, business cards, and such. And I'm actually a proud user of the Ramp charge card, and they came in really handy at our recent Scaling New Heights conference in Florida. But today we're actually going to highlight one of their other features, something that's really great and especially relevant to bookkeepers, and that is their AP software, Ramp Bill Pay. So before I get into everything, I just wanted to say thank you, Kramer, for joining us, and I'll go ahead and open up the floor for you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Sam. Super excited to give a high-level overview on Ramp's bill pay feature today. Just a quick introduce myself. My name's Kramer. I work on our accountings partnerships team here. So really focused on working with, bookkeepers, accountants, CFOs, helping them understand Ramp's value, how we can help streamline processes, eliminate some of the mundane tasks, and help you guys bring more value to your clients and really, focus on what matters most. Just kind of diving right into it. I'm going to go ahead and kind of walk through Ramp Bill Pay. So just like super high level. As of right now, I'm logged in to a QuickBooks instance, QuickBooks Online user instance. So high level, you can see here, this is what the Bill Pay instance would look like. You have your overview, drafts for approval, for payment. Walking through, thinking about how would you use this, where would this come to value in your workflow. We're going to dive into how we create a bill in Ramp, how we'll pay a bill in Ramp, how we'll code it, how we'll go through the approval workflow, all that kind of stuff. First things I want to highlight is we do have distinct roles and permissions in Ramp. So maybe your clients, they want you to run the process from drafting and coding the bill, but ultimately they themselves or the CFO want to be the one to go in and schedule the bill. That's totally an option. Alternatively, maybe one of your team members at your firm will be the one drafting the bill, but your client trusts you to go in and be the one to review and pay the bill. That's an option as well. So you have multiple different levels of approvals and access workflows that'll really streamline the process. All right, so let's dive into it. How do invoices make their way into Ramp? Ramp's biggest and most popular way is through our unique AP inboxes. So what that is, if you're not familiar with an AP inbox, is that's simply an email domain that's going to bring bills streamlined into your Ramp instance. So right now, if your vendor is sending you a PDF or a manual invoice and you're uploading it into your bill pay software, this is just going to be another layer of automation that's going to remove that step. They can still email you the workflow as well, but if they also attach this unique email address that you would have in your Ramp instance, that would just eliminate one more step. The AP inbox, how it works, it scans the entire email and all the attachments, and it's smart enough to extract multiple invoices in a single email. So if you have 1, 2, 5 PDFs or invoices, it's going to bring all those in as an individual draft or individual bill in Ramp. Additionally, for this case of this instance, I'm going to go ahead and use the select drag and drop invoice. So I'm just going to pull a bill into Ramp. We're going to do it as if you didn't have access to your AP inbox. You are bringing a bill in that maybe a vendor mailed you. Let's just go ahead and pull in this guy here. So you see here, it processed that pretty quick. But at Ramp, what we have is it's called OCR technology. So what that does is that just automates data extraction from your invoices. It generally takes around 20 seconds for an invoice to be ready and generated in your drafts tab. It's also going to flag duplicate invoices for you as well. So you see down here on this example, this draft may be a duplicate of blank. So it's also going to flag those. Maybe you had it go to your AP inbox, you didn't realize that, and you also tried to create it. It's going to make note of that for you there. But for this one here, Omnicon Group, let's go through this. This is the one I just uploaded. You'll see here, this is the actual invoice that I uploaded. It would look the same if it came through your AP inbox. It would pull that in. I'm just going to select the vendor. And now we're looking here at all the different line items. Big thing we want to note, right, is on the right-hand side, anything you see here that has the lightning box, that has been pre-drafted or pre-populated through the OCR technology. So you'll see here, it's pulling over your invoice number, your dates, description, your line items. It's going to pull these things in automatically. Coming down here, you'll see here the first thing we have is the bill accounting location. What this is in this instance, this is a demo instance where this company has multiple locations. So for example, we're just going to say New York City, but if it's not a multi-entity location, that would not be necessary. When we're looking at the line items, so if you don't need to code individual line items, Ramp has the ability to either drill down on each one or simplify and collapse them all into one. So you see here, I just use this collapse line item box. When we're looking at how we're actually going to categorize bills or go through our QuickBooks category, our class, things like that, Ramp blends two approaches for efficient bill coding. So you can set up vendor defaults, automatically applying specific codes to regular vendors. Additionally, Ramp's going to provide smart suggestions based on previous entities and the descriptions. So if we start to see, a particular line item, creative services getting billed to a specific class or code, Ramp will learn over time. The more you leverage Ramp's platform, the smarter it will get and the more automated and simpler it'll be for yourself. I just want to go through here and kind of highlight one of the things that sets Ramp apart from maybe some of the competitors or other bill pay platforms you use today is our ability to auto code transactions. So if I X out of this bill real quick and just go back into my accounting workflows, in our settings tab, we have coding rules. So in here, you can create coding rules. These are specifically to manually or to eliminate the manual process and really start auto coding transactions and bills for you. So if I go into like this Ramp Merchant one, for example, I could say, hi, I know that we use Salesforce. We get a monthly bill from Salesforce, and I know that's a software service, so that goes into my software subscription bucket. That way, every time a bill comes through from Salesforce, it's going to go in and automatically be coded to software subscription. Alternatively, we can say, okay, maybe you don't know the vendor, but you want to do the category. You can see here some examples. Let's also say, hey, car services. Okay, that's probably going to be for travel. So anytime, let's say Hertz or Expedia or any of those car rental companies come through, it's automatically going to code that to travel expenses for you. You can do that for a bunch of different things. So let's say freight moving and delivery. This one has a freight and shipping. So anytime DHL or UPS or a bill comes through for those vendors, it's going to automatically code it there for you via those rules that you can set up. So depending on the type of companies, the type of bills you're paying, you can set this up to really streamline a lot of the workflows that you're going to be doing. Let me just go ahead and back out of this and go back into the bill. All right, so we're back into that bill I previously pulled in. Again, just to highlight, we see here the lightning bolts. That means everything that was pulled in automatically. Just going to go ahead and select this. I'm going to collapse these for simplicity of this demo, but in theory, I could go ahead and categorize each line item if needed. We're just going to do generic here. We have the option to save as default coding for future bills. So again, this is where Ramp's going to get smarter as you're using it. So if this bill comes through next month with the same line items, maybe this is a repetitive purchase, you can have it so that it's automatically going to default code for these future bills as well. Let's see, coming down here into payment. So how do you pay bills in Ramp? You have it all set up. They're living in the instance. Coming down here, Ramp offers multiple options to pay your bills. You see this big banner here. It's saying get $51.25 in cash back. What this is to Ramp alluded, one of Ramp's core products is a corporate card expense management platform. If you're using the Ramp card, we offer anywhere from 1%, or for our bookkeeping partners, your clients will get 1.5% cash back for everything they pay via their Ramp card. So they would actually get a little bit more than this $51.25 back, as this is just calculating 1% cash back. But you have the option to pay through Ramp card just to additionally get those benefits. Additionally, though, we also have the ability to pay via ACH, check, wire, both domestic and international. One big thing we like to note is Ramp does not charge for ACH or check. So again, compared to other competitors or AP platforms that you may use that charge, a platform fee of anywhere from $70 to $80, 50 cents for every ACH, a buck or two for every check, Ramp has a flat $0 fee. So we're not going to charge for any ACH, any check. Additionally, Ramp is going to have the ability, if you use our treasury account, which is another product, we offer free same-day ACH and wires. Our treasury product is just basically a business banking account that allows your clients to earn a higher yield on their operating cash, but it's not necessary for them to use that in any way So just clicking through here, I'm just going to play around here. Let's say we're doing an ACH deposit. We're going to say where it's coming from. Where are we going to send the payment to? So right now, we already have this vendor set up. I'm going to say pay it to their Bank of America account. But if we don't, if it's the first time you're paying a vendor in Ramp, you can provide Ramp with the vendor contacts, email, and with one click, we'll reach out and actually request that vendor details from the vendor. So they're going to get an email from Ramp saying, hey, ABC is trying to pay your bill. Please enter your details. They're going to go in, create their vendor profile, put in their accounting and routing number. It's going to eliminate a lot of the manual work for you, and it's also going to eliminate, the need or the possibility of an error there and setting up the wrong account. They're going to be the one that are kind of required to put in their details, but they don't have to. If you know the details and want to go in and put it in yourself, you can obviously do that as well. Let's see, just drilling down a little bit further here. You can set payment schedule dates. So you can have arrive by date, initiate on date, today, next business day. You can have the arrival dates here. So you set these up accordingly. Schedule now, schedule later. Let's see here. What else do we want to go through? A few things. Maybe how does Ramp approach debiting? So how does money actually leave your account? Every payment coming out of Ramp is an individual line debit. So that makes reconciliation incredibly easier for you. The payment, is then going to go into a Ramp account, and we execute it on your behalf. So that's just a streamlined process to really simplify the reconciliation process on your side. Additionally, just kind of moving down the screen here, when we're looking at, how are bills going to be approved in Ramp? Ramp, really, one of the strong key factors is really helping you streamline approval workflows with automated approving. So when a bill is created, Ramp's going to look at the bill content and the amount, and then route it to the appropriate approval based on predefined rules that you can configure. So similar to some of those rules I showed you with how do you set up coding, you have the same option to set up approval workflows. So just kind of clicking in here into our bill pay settings, these are some pre-made rules in this demo instance. Just want to highlight very high level kind of and show you some of the examples. So you see here, when a bill is created, if the amount is greater than or equal to, require any, notify. If the vendor's owner department is not, amount is greater than, require. So these are different workflows that you can have set up based on merchant, based on vendor, based on dollar value, really just streamlining the approval workflow and making sure that the right approvers are in the workflow automatically. That way it's not an extra step. Let me dive back into this bill here. So we're down here. We see here, this is the approval workflow set up based on this approver. Let's say I come in and go to continue. Oops, of course. Collapse that. Make sure it all looks good. We'll say it's New York. It's not required. We have it set up as, let's say, ACH. Just going to have me confirm it, so go through and double check everything I like. Now once I say, okay, this looks good, I'm going to come in here and create the bill. So what it just did was it took me to the next bill in the drafts workflow. So I'm going to exit out of this and go back to the main screen. So we see here that bill for Omnicon is now no longer living in the drafts tab. It's actually moved to the approver tab. So now is when the approver would come in and say, okay, we can come in, review the bill. In this instance, I'm as an owner approval or owner instance in QuickBooks. So I actually have the ability to come in and approve it. But to my point earlier, you have the different instances where you can have users, AP clerks, things like that, owners. Also, maybe they might not be able to approve it. One thing I like to highlight in this activity tab, this is where, let's say you can have an open line of communication with the CFO at the company whose bills you're doing. So let's say, hey, they might come back and say, what is this bill for? Or maybe that already lives there and you're going to say, okay, this bill is for project ABC. You can go ahead and send that. That's then going to send them direct correspondence through Ramp. They're also going to get an email notification just letting them know, hey, this communication's happening. Then they might be able to say, okay, yep, I'm confirmed with the bill. I agree, this is right. I remember. They can come through here, see the approval schedule. Kind of looks like when you order Pizza Hut, where's my pizza? Is it in the oven? Is it being made? Is it out for delivery? Scrolling down here, they'll see that. They're going to be able to come through here and say, okay, do I want to approve this bill? Do I want to reject it? Do I want to edit it? Coming through here, of course, I'm in the demo instance, but I'm just going to exit out. Say this one had a 2-layer approval. But what we're going to look at here is, okay, so you see now the one of the two approvals is made. When we're coming into these ramp instances, if you're the AP clerk, if you're the one creating the bills, you have the ability to come in and remind people. So let's say, hey, it's been 24 hours, they haven't approved the bill. It's been a week, they haven't approved the bill. Lo and behold, Ramp's going to be sending them notifications as well, but maybe it feels a little stronger or has a little bit more value coming from your name. After 24 hours, you have the ability to come in here and remind them to pay the bill. So it's just going to send them a push notification. Once it's set up and all approved, we can come in here and see like bills for a payment. So this bill, for example, again, I'm just clicking through, but this is ready for release. You can come in and actually release the payment. And then we have in the history tab. So the history tab is going to be all our bills paid. This is super helpful for people as they're trying to really like scale their services. Are you trying to be more of like a strategic advisor to your clients? Help them understand how are they paying their bills? How much are they spending with each vendor? People come in here, they can export the data, really streamline this, turn it into reporting and understand, okay, here's where you're spending money. Here's maybe some areas that you might see for areas for improvement. So it really helps you kind of be that strategic advisor. Looking back, a couple last things. Just want to highlight, Ramp also has the ability to set up recurring bills. So whether that is a recurring rent bill or maybe a contractor, anything like that, you can come through here, set up a recurring bill, very similar to how you would set it up with the invoice drag and drop I just showed you. We're going to do one just for kind of an example. Let's do the same bill just for ease. So we see here, we're going to do the recurring bill. I'm not going to go through and create it all, but a couple things I just want to highlight to you is similar workflow. You have the ability to set up your payments, but then you also have the ability to set up your schedule. So when should it arrive? Monthly on the 1st, monthly on the 15th, custom. So you can do it anything. You can go in here and click quarterly the date. Ends after how long? And then the biggest thing, or one of the biggest things for these recurring bills is, does it need an approval after each recurring bill? So do we want it to go through that full cycle? Or maybe after the first time that the CFO goes in and says, hey, the $5,000 rent payment is going to be debited from the checking account, I approve that. Do or do we not need it to require approval each time? So you have the ability to toggle that on or off here, depending on how you want to set that up. So we're going to go out of here. So that's Ramp bill pay, super high level. Coming through, kind of what we went over today is how do you bring bills in, right? So you have your couple different instances. How do you pay bills? You have your couple different instances from AP, use our card, check, wire. Again, just to note, you have the option to use Ramp Treasury. We have our approval workflows, different accounting workflows, and auto coding rules. So you can come through and set those rules up as you need fit. This is, again, just really a big value add as you're paying bills through each month, really looking at, okay, how can I streamline that month-end process? How can I streamline the coding time from, 2 to 4 hours per client to, maybe 20 minutes or maybe 2 minutes, depending on the amount of bills. And then other than that, yeah, that's Ramp high level. Again, I work on our partnership side. It's really focused on building strong relationships with accountants, with bookkeepers, helping them leverage Ramp to bring more value to their clients, to streamline processes, and really automate a lot of that manual work. So I think, I'll turn it back over to Sam. If you have any questions, happy to answer, and we can go from there.
Well, thank you so much, Kramer. And that was a very high-level look into the bill pay feature of Ramp. And as you're saying, being able to help out any bookkeeper, this looks like it'd be the right tool for the job in terms of helping bookkeepers with any sort of bill pay. So I thank you so much for that presentation, and we'll look forward to doing it next time.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam.
Thank you, guys.